am joined by my guest, Adam Lockett. He is the head of lettings at Curchods. How are you doing, Adam?
Very well, David. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. We're going to talk about one of my favourite suppliers at the moment, Propalt, because they seem to be doing some interesting things with property data. Some people in particular love the way that it's able to split the different ownership classes amongst the properties, so you can sort of try and work out who the landlords are. So just tell us a bit about how long you've been using it and how you use it.
So we've been using it for about 4 months now. And I think the reason we found it really interesting was it does exactly what you say. It separates your portfolio landlords from your sort of privately owned landlords. And I think it just allows us to be a little bit more targeted in our approach in terms of working with landlords who effectively are, looking at properties and renting properties as more of a business. I think sending letters to, privately owned properties that are currently on the rental market in the current climate, that's a bit of a myth, because ultimately, by the time they get your letter, they've probably already let it. So I think Propalt gives us a bit more scope to target more sort of portfolio landlords effectively.
But because that's always been sort of what's been dangled in front of us by property data firms for years is, oh, well, you can prospect landlords, you can get to them, but at best you'd maybe get to an accountant's address or the actual address of the physical address of the property. The accountants tended to sort of chuck this stuff in the bin. The tenants tend to chuck the rest of the letters in the bin. Propalt allows you to get in touch. I'm not going to give too much away, but it allows you to get in touch with those landlords in a more direct manner. So in terms of using it for landlord prospecting, have you seen sort of a positive increase in the number of properties that you've been able to prospect and manage?
We have. I mean, we've sort of engaged a lot more with, as I say, the more sort of portfolio landlords. So we've seen a bit of engagement there. It's also just a really useful tool to be cross-referencing our own database, which is really extensive. The system is really easy to use, and that you can use a lot of the data to cross-reference. So we've won a bit of success from effectively using Propalt's data to mirror our own, and getting in touch with some landlords that are on the market or have other properties that maybe we didn't know they had. For whatever reason. So I think the other thing we really enjoy about the system is you get the sales and lettings data all in one place. And in the current climate, it's not a bad thing for lettings agents to be speaking to vendors who have been on the market for a few weeks and haven't sold. So again, in terms of using Propalt to cross-reference our own system and prospect, that's been really, really helpful.
It is superb. I think what struck me was the simplicity of how to use it. So when I had a demo of it, I think Kieran just said to me, look, you can sign up for a free account, but I'll run you through it. And the demo was shockingly quick, which is the way we like our demos, actually. But the reason for that is it is intuitive, isn't it? It sort of just layers that information.
It's easy to use. The onboarding process has been really straightforward. Kieran's very readily available, and it is a short, sharp demo. But the system kind of guides you through what you need to know, and the data in there is all really helpful. Lots of really good data about every individual property. So in terms of onboarding, PropTech can sometimes be a bit of a crazy, complicated world to get your head around. But for us mere estate agents, it's been actually really easy to get on board with it.
And effectively you can be up and running within an hour or so and using it, which is superb. So I guess the big question I was going to ask you, and I sort of know what you're about to say because you've already given it a glowing review. It's easy to use. The support is good. They've onboarded you quickly and promptly. Would you recommend this then to another agent who perhaps wasn't a direct competitor?
I would, as long as they're not in Surrey, I certainly would. I think there's lots of uses for it. Obviously, it's great for lettings agents. I can see it being potentially great for sales agents, and also for sort of developers and people looking for opportunities. I think it's a really, really all-encompassing tool. So anyone outside of Surrey, feel free to go for it.
Adam, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to let you get on and prospect a few more landlords.
Brilliant. Thanks, David.
Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.